And number two, the second life lesson is to believe in yourself. Now, this sounds very clickbait and cliche. I always waited for permission. I don't know if you've had a similar like upbringing to me, but I'm the youngest sibling. I have an older brother who's 2 years older. And so it was either with him or with my father. They had to like give me permission to do anything in life when I was growing up. Literally as much as what items I would buy on RuneScape. So me and my brother both played this game called RuneScape. It's kind of like World of Warcraft if you've played it. And on it, you know, you have your character, you have like the levels you can get up, and you have like gold that you've accumulated. It's like one of those games that, you know, you can play for like 10 years, you have the same character, right? And after years, I saved up like 600k in gold, which isn't a lot, but I wasn't very good at the game, but I saved like 600k. And I always wanted to get this one shield, which was like a Zamorak shield, right? Zamorak kite shield. And I always liked it. I always wanted to get it. And I kept on mentioning it, but my brother kept on like shouting and saying, no, it's stupid. You should, like, you know, he's being aggressive towards me when I would always mention it. And then one day, like, I literally got like, you know, like, oh, it's my money anyway. It's my account. Like, I'm just going to do it anyway. And I bought it. And I remember, like, it's almost like I sat there awkwardly thinking like I needed my brother's validation to keep it. And so I awkwardly mentioned it to him, like, I got the Zamorak kite shield. And he goes, no, well, you're stupid, you stupid idiot. Like, my family's, I'm getting pissed off even just telling this story, to be honest. But my family's very, like, traumatized and abused and shit. So obviously his response is a bit fucked. But yeah, he's literally, like, swearing at me, saying, you're a stupid, like, with this. I'm still resentful for that shit, bro. I'm a little fucking kid. Let me just buy my fucking Zamorak kite shield. But yeah, he's fully abusive towards me. And he literally, like, pushes me to sit down and to sell it again. So, and this is just one instance, right? This is like, imagine this level of control that I've had on me from the items I can buy on a video game. And so imagine for the rest of my life, when I'm making bigger decisions, should I go to university? What topic should I study? Should I move out to university? And imagine having people like this. My dad was kind of like this, but a lot more like physically abusive. So I didn't really have like the kind of support system that you know, like the perfect father and perfect big brother would say. You know, if a little us went up to them and asked them, wait, should I do this thing? What's the best response your father or your brother could have ever given to you? When you go up to them and say, wait, should I do this? They'll sit there for a few seconds and say, what do you think? There's power in that question. What do you think? If you were going to pay me to do like a coaching session and you asked me a good question of like, wait, should I do this thing? I would hope that I was aware enough of you know, the strategies to coach someone that I wouldn't just tell you the answer. Because if I told you the answer, you'd just believe in me, right? I want you to believe in yourself. And so I'd ask you, what do you think? And so the next time you have some decision to make, whether it's small or big, just ask yourself that question. What do you genuinely think? And here's the thing, right? You might be slightly more successful at the things you do if you just follow what your father or your brother does, especially if you want to be just like them. Now, if you don't want to be just like them, you probably shouldn't take their advice, especially if they're not even that rich or successful, right? If your like father's a full-on multi-millionaire, okay, maybe it's actually really worth seeking his guidance. If your brother's a top-level athlete, okay, sweet. But if they're not actually that successful, you should just be wary. It sounds offensive, but it's not from my words, but it's from the words of Alex Hormozy, one of the, I believe, one of the greatest entrepreneurs of our time. And he has this like phrase, which is that if you want to make sure that you won't become rich, take advice from poor people. And I could say the same thing, like take advice from fat people, from slightly unfit people if you want to make sure that you don't become an athlete. Believe in yourself. So the next time you've got some decisions to make, which is going to be very soon, because sometimes they're not very big decisions. Sometimes it's literally just what should you eat? Which one of these things should you buy? It would be so much easier for you if you had your brother or your dad to stand there and say, wait, how about this? Or no, this one. But the more decisions that you take, the more that your brain will develop. You see, everything we do causes like, you know, the neurons and stuff in our brains to like connect together. They connect the dots. And that's how we learn. And we don't want to take that process away. We want to learn and make our decisions ourselves. And of course, we still want guidance. We still want to ask our brother, like, what would you do in this situation? Okay, that's what my brother would do. What would my father do? Then we read some books of some guys that we like. What would they do? Then maybe we research some guys that we like and we look at their podcasts or something. What would they do in this situation? Okay, now you've got like a tribe of mentors who are giving you all their opinions, and then you make the decision because you start to believe in yourself. Because either one, you believe in yourself because you already are capable, which isn't likely if you're watching a video like this. But two, you should believe in yourself because the way that you become capable is by believing in yourself. If you're always waiting for daddy to answer your questions, you're not going to become that capable kind of guy, and you'll never be able to believe in yourself. You need to be okay as a young man to make some wrong decisions. It's going to be okay. Some people in our lives have acted towards us that if we make the wrong decision, that it's catastrophic, that it's such a problem, that, you know, school has taught us this to be safe, haven't they? They've taught us that we should study so much, and that if you get a bad grade, it's like, oh man, like, you know, I've fucked up, I've made a mistake, I'm a failure. But in the real world, the most successful guys, guess what? They're all failures. I failed 7 businesses before this one, and now I make more money than all of your school teachers put together, then doubled, and maybe still doubled after that. And I failed more times than I can count. Believe in yourself.